Hey, when I was in the beginning of my fat loss journey and I had to lose 50 to 70 pounds, I still had that weight to go. It felt very difficult, almost hard, almost impossible in the beginning. I went online just like most people and, Googled how do I lose body fat, ways to get in shape. Some were helpful, some weren't. In today's video, I'll be discussing why fat loss feels hard and how I made it easier. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jonathan. I went from 250 to 177. I had to take my gut and turn it into a six pack. And as somebody who walks around with a six pack now, I can say I found a sustainable way to flip that switch and play this fat loss game on easy mode. So again, this video is pretty much going to be about flipping the switch and playing this fat loss game on easy mode. So pretty much for the main reason is like why fat loss feels difficult. I Googled it and they gave me a list of reasons. I had my own reasons as well too. I documented this stuff, but there was a couple of them that stood out to me, and three of which I really resonate with because we all know fat loss is going to be difficult because we work jobs, we're sitting all day, bad diets, like lack of time. Like this is stuff that we kind of know, not consistent, stuff that we already know. But some of the 3 points that stuck out to me of why it feels difficult is stuff I really don't hear a lot. The first one I do, unrealistic expectations, and I have unrealistic work ethic. I added the unrealistic work ethic. So what that looked like for me is when I was 250, I was just really dreaming of getting down to 215 because I said at least at 215 I'll be a little bit leaner and I still have some size and I'll be good. But the problem is the expectation that I had to get there and the work that it actually takes to get there, they didn't really match up. I had the expectation, but I had an unrealistic work ethic to reach that goal. Another point is a misguided training focus. And I've made all these mistakes that I'm talking about right now, and I'm definitely going to get into how I corrected them. Misguided training focus. So, my channel is mainly about fat loss, right? So understanding that if you're going to approach any type of training program or any type of training in your life, that you need to have a clear idea of what you're trying to do. When I first started, I thought powerlifting, building muscle, and losing fat is all training. You get what I'm saying? And I'm right, it is all training, but the way you approach each of those things is going to be completely different. And if you're trying to approach fat loss as a powerlifter, it ain't going to work. If you're trying to approach fat loss in the way of trying to build muscle and trying to work out like a bodybuilder, it's not going to work for you. Okay, so I had to understand what my focus was and what I was actually doing when I went to the gym or approaching my goals. Another thing was a lack of knowledge, and that ties into the misguided training focus, is that if you don't have the knowledge, and this is for me and anybody that was currently sitting at 30 to 25% body fat, we lack the knowledge of knowing what to do exactly that's going to work for us, that's going to get us the result, and that can be consistent enough and sustainable enough to do it for the rest of our lives. The goal isn't just to lose weight, lose 10 pounds, lose 20 pounds, and then gain it right back. The goal is to lose 20 pounds, keep going until your abs are showing, and then keep that six pack all year round. That's the goal. At least that was my goal. So how I put this stuff on easy mode, and I had to document this stuff too because I couldn't remember everything off the top of my head. But how I was able to flip that switch and play this game on easy mode, it came down to understanding three things, right? And it's not rocket science, it's stuff y'all heard before, but it comes down to food. And what I have for food is high protein and less calories. I have walking as a daily non-negotiable. It's something that you just have to do every day. If we want to approach this goal, it's one of these things that we just have to do every day. Walking just needs to be a daily non-negotiable. It's just something that we do. Walking, and then lifting weights. And then when I have for the lifting weights part, is we're doing this to maintain muscle mass, right? And to be clear on this goal, this whole thing that I'm discussing is about fat loss. And I have a plan drafted up for you guys. So if you guys are beginners and, hey, I don't know where to start, I can give you stuff I actually did, and I have a plan drafted up here, and I'm going to show it in a minute. You guys can screenshot it and apply it, change some stuff around, and do what you want to do. So be clear on the fact that we're training for fat loss. A lot of people get real focused in on what's the split, what's the workouts that you do, how many sets, how many reps. And I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all right now, is that majority of the results that you're going to get in your fat loss journey is going to come from your food, calorie intake, macros, and then really like the daily activity, which is like the light stuff, like the walking and stuff like that. You having a crazy split in the gym don't mean nothing if you ain't tracking your food and tracking your calories. You skip that part, it's not going to matter. There's nothing worse than going to the gym all the time, and then people ask you, "Oh, do you go to the gym?" Like questioning, like, you go to the gym? Like, there's a difference between you're in shape and they ask, "Oh, you go to the gym?" Or a difference you say, "Hey, I've been going to the gym daily." Like, "Oh, really?" Like, we don't want to be on that end of the spectrum, right? We want people to notice the results that we have, and really a lot of that stuff happens outside of the gym. Okay, so you go to the gym 1 hour a day, you got 23 hours in the day that you can mess that 1 hour productivity up. Okay, so be very clear that if you're going to take advice from anybody, please understand that you cannot outwork a bad diet. It's not all just about the workouts that you do. Majority of it is about the food that we consume. So, like I said, workouts only going to be 20% of the fat loss. The good thing here to flip the switch and put this on easy mode is, for me, I found out the workouts don't have to be extra strenuous or exhausting. And I say that to say, because my workouts, if you notice, I haven't recorded a lot of my workouts, but if I were to record myself in the gym, a lot of you would be surprised that I'm not lifting crazy heavy weight. I'm not exhausting I'm putting in a fairly decent effort. And obviously now, like, my endurance level in what I consider difficult may be different for everybody. But I would say that what I do is fairly moderate in the gym. So I'm not doing no crazy Instagram workout. I'm really sticking to the core basics and engaging my core with every exercise. All right. You got to be consistent. Again, workouts don't have to be exhausting, but they need to be consistent. So you want to pick, if you want to put this on easy mode, pick things, right, that you can do consistently, because you can copy somebody else's split from the gym, but if you can't stick to it consistently and it's not like realistic for you, it's not going to work. I don't care if it's worked before in the past. Clearly it didn't work, because if you had to do it and then stop and then you gain the weight back, it didn't work. Right? We want to find something now moving forward that's going to be sustainable for the rest of time. And I got y'all on that, and I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. Food needs to be high protein. You got to track your food. Okay. I'm about to get into what that could actually look like. All right. So just to make this easier, I'm going to put this up here and you guys can screenshot it. But this is like what a day of eating looked like for me in hitting my calorie deficit goals just in the food. Okay. This is just in the food, and the reason why I'm saying that you guys can screenshot it, because you're going to notice a trend of what I did, and you guys can just follow it. So I'm going to get into it. The meal plan that I was on, that I did, was between 1,800 and 2,200 calories. And I mean, I say what I did because I still eat this way now. So for breakfast, I would have 3 to 4 eggs. I would have a protein shake, and I would have coffee. I've said this in other videos. I take a protein powder and protein scoop, whey protein, put it in my coffee, stir it up, put some almond milk in there, and I drink that with some eggs. For lunch, that'll be my breakfast. For lunch, for all the below meals that I have listed, you cook with cooking spray, not olive oil, not excessive butter, because that adds hidden calories. So for lunch, I would have lean meat that would either be fish, chicken, or beef, and I would probably have an 8-ounce serving. I do suggest that you guys get a food scale. And if you listen to this and you're saying, man, that just sounds like extra work, how do I just lose it and blah, blah. Bro, there's no way to do that. And if it is, it's not sustainable. Like, the way I'm telling you to approach this is going to give you the most accurate, like, numbers if you're tracking your food. It takes like 4 seconds, not even, to cut a food scale on, put a piece of chicken on there, see how much you weigh, and then put it on your plate. That's all we doing. That's all we doing. You know what I mean? So, like, say 8 ounces of chicken is like 2 chicken breasts, 2 thin sliced chicken breasts, and some red potatoes, or some beans, or some rice, right? For snack, I would have a protein shake. The protein shake shouldn't be over 160 calories. And then for dinner, I would have lean meat again, either fish, chicken, beef, an 8-ounce serving, red potatoes, beans, or rice. Okay, and then protein shake for a snack. So if you notice a trend, you'll notice that I'm having protein in almost every single time I eat or put something in my mouth. Pause. I'm having protein. So, like, for breakfast, I'm having eggs. They got protein in it. For, I'm drinking a protein shake with that and mixed in with the coffee. For lunch, I'm having lean protein, and I'm having like red potatoes, beans, or rice. For snack, I'm having protein. For dinner, I'm having protein. For snack, again, I'm having protein. So you notice a trend that you want to have protein in all your meals. The reason why is for 2 reasons. One, protein helps for fat loss, building muscles, but it biohacks your body in terms of you're going to feel full or satiated longer with protein than any other food group, right? Like, protein and fiber too, but protein mainly helps calm the stomach down so your hunger cravings won't be as high. Okay, so you're going to be more full off the food that you eat, plus you're eating in a calorie deficit. So with the more protein we have, the less snacking we're going to do. We'll feel more full, so we're not going to be eating is a bunch of useless calories, high processed foods that have no nutritional value. All right, so if you guys can follow that template, essentially having protein with every meal, you guys will be okay. And then as far as like a carbohydrate, I have, potatoes, rice, or beans. Those are the carbs I like to eat. And I want to stay away from like certain stuff, but those are the carbs that I like to eat. If you find a different carbohydrate you want to put with it, that's cool. Or if you want to like say, hey, I do keto, so I get the meat and I may do something else, that's fine too. But I'm saying the calorie count needs to be, within the calorie deficit limits, and that we're getting enough protein. Okay. Now the next thing is the daily activity, and this is like the key point that's going to help put the fat loss on easy mode. So like I said, it doesn't have to be extra strenuous. If you go to the gym, you don't have to like put so much mental energy on like, okay, I got to do this workout, then do this workout, because the workout really isn't going to do too much difference if like the other stuff isn't right. So main thing I want you to focus on is, if you're going to make fat loss easier, is that it's the work outside of the gym that's going to determine how you look. It's the work outside of the gym that's going to determine how you look. Okay, so we're going to watch what we eat, and then as far as like burning additional calories, are walking. So for me, if y'all watch any of my other videos, I always champion 10 incline, 3.1 miles an hour for 45 minutes. Okay, let's say if you're a beginner, you got 25, 30% body fat, you don't know much about nothing, right? If you just do the food thing and really just walk, right? Let's say if you didn't even go to the gym, you just did like push-ups, body weight squats, but you walked and then had the good nutrition, you're gonna see results. You're gonna drop your body fat percentage. Because if you were essentially doing nothing, sitting down, eating all day, laying down at the end of the night, you get what I'm saying, and just stuff in your face, then you switch to high protein and then just walking for 45 minutes, you're gonna start to see results. And that's what I'm saying. When you're training for fat loss, it doesn't have to be super strenuous. A lot of times that comes from guys watching bodybuilders go on a cut, and they think they need to mimic them, and you really don't. A lot of you guys who watch like me or watch anybody, you guys aren't training to be bodybuilders. Most people aren't training to be bodybuilders anyways. People just want their abs to show. They just want to get to the point where their abs can show. And you can do that, right? You can drop a substantial amount of body fat. Some people just want to hit that 15% body fat. They want to get to 15% body fat, and you can do that like without being extra strenuous on your workouts. So food, walking daily. If you don't have access to an incline treadmill, I would recommend that you buy a flat walking treadmill and park that right in front of your TV. And if you go and sit down and watch Netflix and binge watch a TV show, just walk at 3.1 miles an hour for 45 minutes or to an hour flat and watch your show like that. You get what I mean? Because that way, like, even if you have a habit of like, man, I don't have a good habit of going to a gym, get a flat treadmill and put it in front of your TV. And then you can just walk while like binge watching your favorite show. And it's not strenuous. Again, you're just walking like you walk to the refrigerator, like you walk to your car to drive to Wendy's, then walk in Wendy's and grab your food, or go through the drive-thru and come back and bring your food and walk back into your house to eat it. You get what I mean? If you can walk to do all the other stuff, we can walk just to watch TV as well too. So it's just one of those things that we just got to replace one of our behaviors. Getting into the gym portion, I'm gonna put the workout plan up here as well too. This is good for beginners. Right, I know this is long, but bear with me. I know this is good for beginners as well too. So my recommendation, right, we can apply this to going into next week, next year, next month, whatever, that you hit the gym 4 days a week. We do 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps for all these workouts here. So my recommendation is do full body. Hit your legs, hit your back, hit your chest, shoulders, and we're gonna do core. We're gonna do some wide grip pull-ups. So what that looks like is for legs, we're gonna squat and deadlift. We're going to squat and deadlift. So we can do squats. We can do 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps for the squats. Do the same thing for the leg press. For back, we're going to do bent over rows, barbell rows, or we can do lat pull downs. For chest and shoulders, I got that combined together. We can do standing cable where we press upward, we press downward, we press straight. We can do incline dumbbell press, or we can do standing military press. I'm a fan of the standing military press just because as you're pressing up, you have to engage your core to keep the bar straight. So I'm a big fan of standing military press. And then we're going to hop into doing core, 2 sets of core, and then some wide grip pull-ups, and we're going to finish it off there. We do that 4 days a week. We walk daily though. Okay, so that means on the day that we do this exercise, we're walking as well too. But again, the exercise, this is just an example. It doesn't have to be strenuous, but the main thing we're doing is the food, the walking. Okay, this is just going to determine how we look when that fat falls off. And if most people, you want to look like you got a decent physique, I just suggest train full body. So guys, I hope this helps. It was not a lot of information, but stuff you guys can screenshot. And my whole goal here was to give y'all a foundation if anybody was struggling. Because, it's like this, man. When I was 250, it wasn't the fact that, like, I didn't know anything. I just needed some, like, framework of, like, what works. And I'm just telling you, this is the framework I use, and I lost 70 pounds, and I got a six-pack right now, and it's in the heart of the winter when I'm making this video. I got a six-pack right now, right? You've seen the before and after pictures. I didn't do anything other than what I'm telling y'all right here. So I'm proof that it works. Now, I know genetics play a factor, so like in terms of like muscle development, genetics do play a factor, but there's no way you can tell me if you're sitting at 25% body fat right now, that if you took what I said and applied it right now, that you're not going to get any result. That's like completely unreasonable. That's completely unreasonable. So show me somebody who've walked, a full, capable, able-bodied man who doesn't have any medical defects or anything like that, that they walked 6-7 days a week, they worked out in the gym 4 days a week, you know what I mean, and they were in a caloric deficit, and they didn't lose weight. I would be hard-pressed to say, close to say that'd be impossible. To be eating in a caloric deficit with no pre-existing medical conditions, somebody who was sedentary, they just sat all day, then they opted to do a plan like this, you're going to get a result. So guys, I hope this helps. Stay tuned for the next videos, but this right here is the framework to hit that switch and put this stuff on easy mode. If it sounds difficult now, you just need to start, and you'll really realize what I'm talking about when you start. Like I said, the workout isn't difficult. If you don't want to do the gym part, okay, skip the gym part and just do body weight push-ups and squats and stuff like that. But get the walking in there and get the food in there. You'll be done. You'll be easy. You'll be good to go. You'll be good to go. So stay tuned for the next video. All right, peace.